Their colleagues asked them the question, you work so well, where did you train? And the answer they always give is, of course, Uzima University. With your permission, Chief Guest, sir, and with the permission of our founding Chancellor, and the permission of the Council Chair, may I request this congregation to join me in giving a round of applause to the members of the faculty seated on my right. The DVC Academic, DVC Administration, Finance and Planning, all our esteemed professors and lecturers, members of the Senate, members of management, technical, library, and above all, the support staff that keep Uzima so clean. May you now join me in giving a round of applause to the Uzima team. Again, to the Uzima team, it's a pleasure working with you. Thank you for who you are. This Uzima University family is a real blessing to this unique university. Our mantra is, and I say it in Kiswahili, tuko wazima kwa sababu tuko uzima. My dear graduates, as you leave this unique institution, have the Uzima spirit. Practice our motto, Luceat lux vestra, let your light shine. Therefore, go ye and shine your light in Kenya and in the whole world. May God go with you. May God bless you. Thank you.
Before you take your seat, Vice Chancellor sir, I kindly ask you to invite the Council Chair. With permission granted from the Council Chair, invite the representative of the Governor of Kisumu County, Dr. Gregory Ganda, to deliver his speech and congratulations to Uzima before you invite the Council Chair.
Dr. Greg, let us give a round of applause as he approaches the podium. Thank you very much for coming.
Good morning, everyone. Yes, I'm going to give this speech on behalf of the Governor of Kisumu County, Professor Peter Anyang'-Nyong'o. My name is Dr. Gregory Ganda. I'm the Acting CEC of Health, the Chief Officer of Health in Kisumu County. So, the Chancellor, Chairman of the University, members of the University Council, the Vice Chancellor, members of staff, distinguished guests, parents, guardians, and all our graduates, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It is with great pleasure that I join you on this auspicious occasion of the first graduation ceremony of Uzima University. I congratulate the Uzima University Council and management for leading and building this great university. My government considers this as an important milestone in developing the manpower needed for the development of this great nation. We look forward to the great contribution that you and the graduates will make in the development of this country. Kisumu County is proud to have had this great university within its boundaries. And indeed, the university has had a great contribution to the county's specialty in the health sector. As you are aware, since inception, Kisumu County witnessed Uzima University grow from strength to strength by expanding capacity in training opportunities and infrastructure development. Indeed, the university now offers courses in medicine, nursing, health systems, community health, and development, just to mention a few. My government is proud to have signed an MOU with the university on students' placements and training in Jaramogi Oginga Odinga Teaching and Referral Hospital and Kisumu County and Referral Hospital, offering attachment to its students. I'm proud with the discipline and commitment of the students during their rotations and attachment, and therefore take this great opportunity to commend the university management for offering good leadership and call upon them to continue with the same spirit. The university has focused on quality education, research, innovation, and transfer of knowledge. At the community level, this institution has brought education close to the people and contributed to their socio-economic status. Ladies and gentlemen, the health sector has inadequate specialists in areas such as oncology, psychiatry, dermatology, neonatal nursing, among others. The county is willing to collaborate with the university to develop and support establishment of such postgraduate courses, as this will reduce the cost of training of its staff. We look forward to the building of partnerships that will see establishment of these courses and this institution to build our country and the nation at large. Ladies and gentlemen, the country's long-term development blueprint, the Vision 2030, envisions a new industrialized middle-income country by the year 2030. I want to urge the university to consider starting a course in pharmacy and in establishing a drug manufacturing plant through partnership that will take the Lake region to different heights. It is through such commitment by the academic institutions in collaboration with the government and the industry that Kenya will achieve national development and industrialization. Finally, to the graduates, we are here today to witness and affirm your successful training and the skills you have acquired. Kindly utilize the skills and competencies acquired to uplift yourself, your family, and also to sustain the Kenyan knowledge-based economy that is globally competitive. As you go out to start new chapters in your lives, the government will remain supportive of your endeavors, and be entrepreneurial, and always search and respond to opportunities. Remember that success is a sum of small efforts repeated day in, day out, and an opportunity does not knock, build a door. Thank you and congratulations, and God bless you all. His Excellency Professor Peter Anyang' Nyong'o, Governor of Kisumu County. Thank you.
Thank you, Daktari. May I have the pleasure to invite the VC to invite the Chair of Council for Uzima University.
It is now my singular honor to invite the Chair of Uzima University Council,
Thank you, VC. Our chief guest, Professor Lemea Care, the Chancellor of Uzima University, the founding Chancellor, His Grace Archbishop Zakeu Sokot, Archbishop Emeritus. Thank you. My colleagues in the Council, the Vice Chancellor, and the entire university staff and fraternity, the representatives from the ministries, Education and Health, representatives from the county government, the graduates, parents, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Chief Guest, sir, first and foremost, I wish to introduce the members of the council who have found time to be with us today. Members of the council, kindly be upstanding. Of course, we have the VC, Reverend Dr. Osman Ragot. We have Dr. William Mayaka, Governor Rabesh, Professor Oyusumbeche, Professor Oyo, Barak Oyo, Dr. Barak Oyo, and Professor Ganda. Thank you very much. The chief guest, may I digress from what everybody else has done and recognize the contributions of members, men and women, ladies and gentlemen, that sacrificed a lot in the formative stages of Uzima University. Sometime in 1998, I went to pick His Grace Archbishop Emeritus of Kisumu from Jomo Kenyatta International Airport for a board meeting at MEDS. I found a dejected and disturbed Archbishop. I thought I would be cancelled, but now if the Archbishop was disturbed, I don't know who would cancel him. So I asked him what the problem was. And of course, I wish I could say it in Doluo, but this is what he said. Otieno, what disturbs me most is that the people of the Lake region die from very simple diseases: malaria, typhoid, gonorrhea, diarrhea, etc., etc. These are diseases that does not kill anybody. And therefore, I don't know who died at that time from those diseases. I want to set up an institution purely for health sciences. So I asked him, okay, so what do you want to do? He said, His Excellency has just given me land. That was the late Daniel Arab Moi. Set up a university. So that evening after the board meeting, we sat to pursue this dream. We agreed that identify individuals, first from this community of the Lake region, who would sacrifice their time and energy and resources to help him realize his dream. We walked along the streets of Nairobi, visiting offices of all these gentlemen and ladies. We agreed to set up committees. And of course, since he had land, we had to get the title of this land. So we commissioned Senior Counsel Ambrose Rachir, who worked tirelessly to acquire the title deed of this land where we are. With that document, we now set to go and set up a building committee that was led by architect Jerry Ndong. Mr. James Ochologoda, QS, the late Dr. Engineer Pius Okelo, may God rest his soul in peace, the late Engineer Chris Aboda, structural engineer, may God rest his soul in peace, and Professor Mbeche, who is still with us today and was dabbling in 2 committees. In the curriculum committee, we had the late Professor Thomas Ogada. Thomas Ogada had just moved this side and was operating from home. The late professor wrote the original curriculum within 1 week from the time we requested it. He called me on a Saturday to pick the curriculum, and Monday we were called and informed that the late professor had had an accident and died instantly. May God rest his soul in peace, but the curriculum remains. The late Dr. Margaret Ogola, Professor James Joey, who is currently at Maseno, Professor Gutu at Nairobi University, Dr. Agama, who is at Emory, and one of the team members, the doctors, that they discovered the vaccine for malaria. And finally, Professor Yonga of also Nairobi University. This lady and gentleman stayed for a whole weekend in Kwea to polish the curriculum that had been developed by the late Professor Ogada. There was need at this stage to look for ladies and gentlemen who would assist in raising finances that were required. And we tasked Dr. Martin Oduor Otieno to lead the team. We had Dr. Edward Odundo, Advocate Francis Wasona, the late Alois Opeo, who was my predecessor, may his soul rest in peace. We just buried him this year. And though I was coordinating all the committees, I belonged to the finance committee as well. Among the clergy who used to accompany His Grace to all our meetings, alternately, was none other than Dr. Charles Lokochiel, who led in the opening prayer. And of course now, Reverend Dr. Cosmas Ragot. These ladies and gentlemen spent sleepless nights, kept on meetings, and His Grace was always willing at times to take a flight in the evening, meet with these people at night at the premises of the late Pius Okello, and would fly back the following morning. Thank you, Your Grace, for such great sacrifice. Construction started, and the late Bishop Emeritus Linus Okok, assisted by Mr. Austin Kapere, supervised the construction of all these buildings you are seeing there. The office was just that tree behind there. I wish to express special gratitude to the Right Reverend Raila Amolo Odinga, who presided over the first, the Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, who presided, he will never be a reverend. I'm used to addressing bishops. Amolo Odinga, who presided over the first fundraising ceremony for Uzima University, and His Excellency, the former Vice President, Honorable Mudi Awori, who laid the foundation stone of the first building of Uzima University. Mudi Awori said at that time, he looked at His Grace on the face and said, I want this to be a high-class medical school. I hope we are in that direction. His Excellency the President, Uhuru Kenyatta, also paid us a visit and has been very instrumental in monitoring the progress of the university. May I pass gratitude to all these people who have made this day a great success. I wish to recognize my predecessors, the first chairman of the council, Dr. Edward Odundo, and the second chairman of the council, the late Alois Opeyo Otieno. Ladies and gentlemen, as the Chinese say, every journey starts with a single step. The single step that His Grace made in 1998 has made us now be called the university. We are working towards the establishment of a charter. We hope we'll meet the target that the President has set. And that is the last function that he should hold is to grant Uzima University a charter. We are working towards that as a council. I wish to appreciate the guidance that our chief guest himself has been giving us towards this goal. The graduates, you have seen the alumni in 001 speak. That is what we want you to be out there. Go out and shine. Let the Uzima light shine out there. You are our ambassadors. You are our marketers. You are everything Uzima. The parents and guardians, thank you very much for giving us your sons and daughters and trusting them with us. We are now returning them to you, fully formed and holistically formed. May they help you in building the country out there. Thank you very much. It's now my greatest pleasure before I invite the Chancellor, we want to recognize, as already been done, the representative of the TS, State Department of University Education, Mr. James Mushiri. If you could pass the message of the TS.
Thank you very much. The Chancellor of Uzima University, Most Reverend Zacchaeus Okoth, Guest of Honor, Professor Akea, Board of Trustees, Council members, the Vice Chancellor, Dr. Cosmas, the University Senate, Board of Management, faculty, graduates, parents and guardians, university staff, ladies and gentlemen, all protocols observed. Good morning. My name is Mushiri Dungu from Ministry of Education, and I'm here to represent Ambassador Samuel Nabukwesi, who is the Principal Secretary, University Education and Research. And I would wish to give his apologies. He would have wished to be with you today, but as you know, this is the time when we have so many graduations in the country, and he has attended one of them. The PS was grateful for the invitation to come to the first graduation of Uzima University, and he wishes you well. First of all, he would wish to thank you and congratulate you for your first graduation of today, and particularly also having achieved or acquired the letter of interim authority in March last year. He would also wish to thank the Catholic Church for having been a very strong partner in the education sector, and particularly Uzima University for having the strength to start a university which is focused in medicine. We appreciate that it is not easy to run a university that is focused on medicine because of the challenges of funding, but we would wish to thank you for having taken that step. To the parents of the graduates today, we thank you very much for having the grace to support your students through the course, and more so to the students who are graduating today, and the peers would wish you all the best as you go out there to support humankind, and as your philosophy says, that you get in there to serve. We would wish to request you to serve with discipline, with intelligence, and with humility. And with this, we would wish to thank the management of the university for this invitation. Thank you, and may God bless you.
Thank you. It's now my pleasure to invite the Chancellor, the visionary leader that we have had, Most Reverend Zacchaeus Okot, to address the congregation.
Professor Jeremiah Okot Kea, you know we share the name. Our chief guest at this first graduation ceremony in situ at Uzima University grounds. The chairman of Uzima University Council, Mr. Nelson Utieno, Alois, distinguished members of Uzima University Council, the Vice Chancellor, and all members of the Senate. Very Reverend, and superiors present, Reverend Fathers here present, Reverend Brothers present, Reverend Sisters present, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. After the short appreciation of the scouts I saw here, I want to let you know that I'm so happy to see them here because I too was a student in Peter Seminary from 1954 to 1962. So when I see the seminarians playing the band where I used to be, that's why I learned the scouting also there up to Bushman's Crown or Queen Scouts after that. So I was very happy to see them marching here as I used to march as a young kid there also. We didn't have a band that big, but we played the normal flutes and so forth. So that I would like to be grateful to them. And also I found a little link as I spoke to our chief guest today, that our chief guest was at Kakamega High School in 1964, no, 63 and 64, doing higher school. And I did also Cambridge High School there in 1962, so he just followed me, the class when we left to go and start St. Thomas Seminary in 1963. So it's a very sheer coincidence, but I think it's very important when we recognize how God sometimes arranges things. And now he's here with me to be the chief guest. So this is indeed a great day for Uzima University as it marks the first graduation. As Uzima University was given the letter of interim authority on 4th March 2020, we were given 4 years within which Uzima University must work hard to attain the state of the charter. And we were promised that if we work hard enough, we might be blessed with the charter in 2 years. We are told to benchmark with Adventist University, which attained the charter in the shortest time possible. The Adventist University is the work of our chief guest here, Professor Shelomar Okot Kea. Let's give me a round of applause for that. With the building of the state-of-art eye hospital by the Lions International on a piece of land donated by Uzima University, we donated them 5 acres there, because we had about 20 acres here, which was also donated to us by that time President Daniel Arab Moi, when our late Zakaria Yugi was in that office. So, it is our sincere hope that the university will collaborate very closely with the eye hospital in ways of pursuing academic excellence. We are indeed sincerely thank Ms. Ramesh Mehta, our member of the University Council, who worked hard to ensure that the eye hospital is built adjacent to Uzima University. Ramesh is the one you have seen here. He has been my colleague in business also. Sometimes visiting him at his own shop there in town for many years. We have been maybe just friends, despite belonging to another faith, but we work together. And I'm very happy that we can have this Lions Hospital next door, which will be one of our university campuses, for eye hospital, and our students will go there also for experience. That's a great achievement. So I want to thank the Lions International. In the middle of my introduction, I was able to go as far as Chicago to the headquarters of Lions International to make certain appeals. One of them is what is being built now. So we are very grateful that God is blessing our work. And that also I want to say what I indicated yesterday. Our university is open to also other people in the Eastern African region. All the 9 countries, Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, Malawi, Ethiopia, South Sudan, North Sudan, and also Uganda, and also Congo now, and also Rwanda and Burundi. So I think that this region is going to benefit from this, our university of niche, Uzima University. And so we are very happy that this collaboration goes on. And my professor of comparative religion, Professor Davamuni, an Indian at the faculty, Jesuit, taught us at the Gregorian University in those days. He told us all our religions, whether you are a Christian, a Hindu, or a Muslim, or any other faith, we all could unite in one concept, and that the concept we believe in God. So that's why we are open to receive even students from other religions and denominations, Muslims. We are happy to be with them. And as my professor for ecumenism told us in those days, that we also as Christians, we are one. Because we all profess one faith in God as well, but also we most of us believe in Jesus Christ. So he told us we are united. What separates us is only what he called, in quote, incommunicable otherness. That he meant why we are separate, as you see us, is nowadays because the Anglicans have got their own, they have Adventists, PCA, and other. So that's what makes us different. But we are both one in belief and even of faith and practice. So we are all invited. This university is going to make all denominations can get professionals from here in medicine. Indeed, I am most grateful to those who saw it fit to honor me with that building when I'm still alive. The very often these things are done after you're gone, then they say, now I want to remember R.I.P. May he rest in peace. But you remember me, I'm still alive. So I'm very happy that I can look up and say, there's my remembrance. Thank you very much. May God continue to bless you. On the very special note, I wish to thank the staff for the past 7 graduations which have taken place in Quer, and with this 8th graduation here on our own grounds. I sincerely thank the staff for praiseworthy teaching, which has made Uzima University alumni to be praised throughout the Republic of Kenya. Wherever Uzima University alumni are, they excel as doctors, as nurses, as clinical officers, as microbiologists, as community health workers, and as health records keepers. And I know this is about this from Meru, people from Meru telling me, about people from Trenwek telling me. When we were in BBI in Kakamega, the woman gave quintuplex there, 5 kids. And we discovered the nurse who was midwife there was of Uzima University. And we all gave a gratitude to that lady. I think we gave, because each baby, we gave 5,000, so 50,000 for the five babies. So that's a good sign that Uzima University was able to, also enable his mama to get those 5 babies. So grateful, so happy are we. So therefore, on this first graduation, here on Uzima University grounds, I wish to announce the launching of Uzima Alumni Association, and all the former students of Uzima are automatically members. But this is one of the ideas I gave quite early when we gathered here. I remember when the Right Honorable Prime Minister was here, that we have already categories of membership, those who want to help us in this. So we have copper members, we have silver members, we have golden members, platinum members, and even if you want to have something more, we see it's there, the category is there. They just go with their name. If you are copper, you can give us something between 1 shilling and 20. When you are silver, you go 25 and above, 1,000. You don't mind, even 25 is also silver. We're not bound at being that exact. What's between it? So that's just a way of saying people can be members in the capacity they can afford. That's only that. Those who are a bit more, you can give us 50,000, we accept. Give us 30, we can accept. Those who have more, you can give us platinum, 100 plus or something. Why? Well and good. Why not? So this is the reality of trying to establish alumni, that we also grow with it steady by step. And I witnessed this when I witnessed Gonzaga University in the US, in that state, close to Canada. And I witnessed there, MZ came in with a beautiful car, an American Porsche car. And he said, this car is now on auction. People gave money, people gave. They even got more, twice more than the car would cost. But at the end, that MZ said, the money is for the university, and the car is also for the university. They didn't take anything away. That's the kind of spirit we want. You give us what you can. Give us what you can. When they shop, give us something, that's what we need. That's the reality of being an alumni. That is an alumni. He was over 80 when he brought in all that and left not only the car, but also the money. Therefore, on this first graduation here at Uzima University grounds, So as we gather here on this celebration of the first graduation, the authority to gather solemnly is derived from the authority of the mace. Without the mace, there's no authority of graduate. That's the mace. If you want to know what it is, the one in front of us there. That is the mace. The gowns are black in color as they depict the solemnity of the occasion. The hood, when the graduate wears a hood around the neck, is always a reminder of the focus the graduate is supposed to have in his or her pursuit for intelligence, wisdom, and knowledge. The hood has various colors. Blue, or Uzima, is a color which reminds us of the immensity of waters, because we are a university that is on the Lake Victoria. So anything to do with aquaculture, anything to do with water science, aquatic sciences, and anything that is related to health, we shall be able to study and also do scientific research. So the reality of blue is also the color of the Blessed Virgin Mary, Mother of God. That is to train the doctors, especially those who are gynecologists and nurses who will be taking care of, deliveries in our hospitals. But motherhood is a very important factor in the reality, because everybody in this world is first born of a mother. He is not vomited, he is born of a mother. So we must appreciate our mothers, we must love our mothers, and we must tell every motherhood, no matter what race, class, creed, ethnic group, a mother is a mother. Even mine was also. Now I must say, I also thank my mother. I didn't know that before. I thought it was ordinary. But my mother had 12 children, so he did a good job in this world. Number 11 is still in America with 2 master's degree and 5 children. So it is still possible to be a mother, even with a master's degree. So the white signifies purity and holiness of God, which every student should aim at. Every student, all of us, who does not want to be of good character, good personality, good etiquette, somebody respectable, somebody loud, somebody people want to associate with. So basically, white is a sign of the holiness of God and the purity of the individual. And that is always aspiration. No matter how long we wait to do, no matter how much we have been the opposite, we can always, God will bring us back to this holiness that belongs properly to Him. The brown denotes the simplicity of life, the dignity of life of a student, the dignity of life of every individual, the dignity of life of every person, of every Kenyan, every East African, and even the dignity of life of every individual in the world. Then the bonnet, heart of great graduation. This symbolizes respect and dignity of every graduate. Is supposed to give and be given. The dignity of every graduate is supposed to give and also be given. So the bonnet is very important to all of us, because we need to get that dignity, that we also must give others, and we also respect that dignity from others. So I sincerely make this clarion call to you today. Be the ambassadors of Uzima wherever you are. Advertise Uzima University so that we can get more students from all the 47 counties who will be filled with zeal to make Uzima University the center of academic excellence in health sciences. And that is why it's coming steadily. But every county should make sure that if they could send here a minimum of 2, but even better 4, so that every year, every country will be getting 2 doctors, 2 clinicians, 2 nurses. You know, then doctors are not only needed in the cities, doctors are needed even in these sub-county hospitals. Our sub-county hospitals, most of them are just close to health centers. They should be fully fledged hospitals with doctors and clinicians, you know, helping in all aspects that can be achieved. So the vision is to make Uzima University a center of excellence in which the students come to study various forms of specialization in the form of various branches of medicine, whether it is psychiatry, whether it is dentistry, whether it is ophthalmology. There are many, many courses in medicine. That is why I went to universities. I saw about 6, but I saw 3 that had really quality and so forth. And one of them that the VC mentioned here, had about 16,000 students studying medicine. And with that, all the pharmacies brought their medicines around. It is all available. Finally, it is our strategic plan to establish the state-of-the-art hostels in order to mitigate the vulnerability of students and with time and resources. It is also a dream to build another teaching and referral hospital across the road here, since the health facilities in the city Kisumu are all congested. Because 4 or 5 universities come to our university, our hospital here in town, the Ramogi Hospital. I think it's also good you have our own hospital here, a small referral hospital that will do the necessary for our students. And we shall still have, we have plans even for another hospital, because on the hillside, so we can have more specialized treatments that need very highly qualified staff, you know, like cancers and so forth. So we have all that we need to do in the space for it we have. Very soon, we are launching master's program as a result of the demand made by the alumni of Uzima University. Right now, we are already operating as a university, and we can have our masters. But we must have our masters, and if we have our masters program, then we must have PhD programs, because the PhD people are the ones to supervise these masters. I was a lecturer myself. You cannot have a BA guy supervising a master's program, no. So we need this normal growth that is there, a master's degree and PhD degrees. And we know for every department, because I've worked in Marcelo University 15 years, I was sometime in the Bondo as well, I've been in Uzima University for many years, and I've seen it grow to a state where it is. For every established department of a university, you need minimum 3 to 5 people who have doctorates, so that that university department can function properly and supervise students and be able to read the many academic master's program, thesis that they write. So this is a reality. The university now is bound to expand. It's good to tell you that ahead of time. And we have been assured that we can do it. And I ask you to pray that the Lord may continue to grant us the necessary assistance so that we can make it the university of niche, a university of excellence, a university that will serve not only the East African region, but the world at large. Because already we are in, collaboration with the two universities in the US already. So we are on the way going international as well. There will be international students also here. And may God bless you. And may God bless Uzima University. Amen. And now I understand it is my duty and pleasure to invite Professor Shalomaya Okoth Care, who is an eminent Kenyan. He's a man of many letters and a great scholar. He has a Bachelor of Science degree from Makerere University, Master of Science from Cornell University, USA, and PhD from Cornell University, USA. Postgraduate specialization in major in soil sciences, minor microbiology and crop sciences. Let's give him a special applause as he comes to the podium. Makofi moja! Mbili, tatu, Professor, welcome.
Chancellor of Uzima University, Most Reverend retired Archbishop Zacharias Okoth, the Chairman of Council, University, Council members, Nelson Otieno, the Vice Chancellor of the University, Reverend Dr. Cosmas God, representatives of the various ministries, Ministry of Education, Ministry of Health, other ministries, the staff, students, parents, guardians, and other distinguished guests. Thank you very much, and I'm appreciating your attendance to this first congregation of Uzima University on this special day of 26th November 2021. I am honored, I feel privileged to join you on this graduation ceremony Uzima University at the Kisumu campus, this being the first of its kind. In other words, we are progressively moving to independence. Now that the mess is also here, there are very few steps remaining for this to be a fully fledged university. I have very little to say after calling my father has spoken. That name of God is actually my father's name. When I applied to go to university, when the results came back, they mixed up the first name and the last name. And I didn't want to change it again. So actually my name is Jeremiah Kea, Okot, which is my father. And that's what we share. But we may be sharing even more than that name Okot, because he has some roots of his ancestors who also come from my location area. All said and done, we are happy to be here today in the university to witness this important occasion, and in commending you on the work on the logistics of reading. So I join you on this special occasion to look back where you have come from over the last 8 or 9 years, where you are going in the future. So mine is just simply now to add and confirm most of the good words we have heard from the various speakers. Starting from the chairman, was given us some very interesting history of how this university came about, and those who have contributed to the various ideas. Not too long ago, someone was telling me that young people these days need to be reminded about history or things which they may not know or which they take for granted. That's why I begin by saying that every university has a history with its founders and origin and affiliation, including the important status of their institution, which gives them the administrative independence and so on. No doubt, Uzima University draws its origin from the Catholic University of Eastern Africa, where, so as it develops into a fully fledged university, we are indebted to the parent university, where, in preparing the elevation of this of Uzima University to a fully fledged entity, the founders of Uzima must have had an enduring belief that where can and is an important instrument of transformation for society and also our country. And the surrounding counties, which have been referred to. So that background we have received is extremely helpful to us as we share this day today, and the council and understood the role it plays in the nature of this new body. And therefore, for me, I'm so delighted that some of the areas you have touched on, like the partnerships and networks, which are critical to such a university, should succeed as we share these dreams together. The retired Archbishop, both in his mission and vision for the university, which is a center of excellence in medical education, healthcare, and research. It's a noble dream that is being realized. The aspiration of the founders will facilitate the improvement of the health for the people of this region and beyond. I had the opportunity, as has been mentioned, to share with the retired Archbishop and the Vice Chancellor, Chairman of Council, and a few other people. And therefore, in this work, we are together. We can use our experiences, our opportunities to continue supporting Uzima to reach that attainment of charter, but even then, to go beyond attaining that charter. The point is that today, Uzima is joining more universities, not just only in Kenya, Africa, but also in the world in the pursuit of higher education. It will be a long journey as you develop and grow the level of the universities founded before this one. Here I can say that these universities, once they are started, Uzima being one, they never die. There's some universities founded in the early centuries, the 5th century. University of Sankara in Mali was one of the first universities in the world that was from Africa. University of Cairo, another very old one. From there they moved to Europe, going to France, UK. As a result, today, most of the public universities we have in Kenya have their origin from the University of London, which started Makerere in 1922, and later on the universities of Dar es Salaam and Nairobi, Royal College. They grew up under the University of London. Then they became the University of East Africa. After the University of East Africa, now we went national. We had the University of Dar es Salaam for Tanzania, University of Nairobi for Kenya, and Makerere for Uganda. Today, those public universities have given rise to almost 100, actually more than 100 universities, which are serving the people of East and Central Africa, and even beyond. If that was not enough, because that is government or public system, now came in the private system, of universities, which are started by either individuals, faith-based organization, and they are also playing a very big role. So we are joining plethora of institutions that are really geared to help in the life of many people. I like the way the retired Archbishop mentioned, described the hood, the meaning of it, the origin. And I think he mentioned even that the hood, in those days, the lecturers wore hood, and they were not very rich people. So they sat somewhere, as they taught the class, since they had no money, the hood behind here is for someone to put in some little money, which can help the lecturer or the staff member when he goes back. In that regard, I'll be appealing in my speech to our doctors who have qualified and who, when they go back home, they make some little money, slightly better than most of those in the other professions. When they have made that money, remember that hood, put something small there, back to your university where you started. And from the student number 001, or maybe in the future 10,000. When I spent as part of my life in America, their universities have a tendency of bringing back the alumni. I'm glad that the alumni is picking up here. Every year, a class comes back, and those who have made money as engineers or doctors, they say, now we class from 1953. It's a long time. For the class of 1990, we shall take a building of the health sciences, 200 floors, or so many floors. So I hope that very soon our graduates will start picking up that culture of remembering where they obtained their first degrees and give something back to those institutions. I'm glad that in Kenya also, the public systems are supporting many universities, but the private sector have come in, individuals. That's why I admire the dream of the founder of this university, who made the clarion call. It reminds me of the university which I attended called Cornell. I was glad that even already some of the Uzima University graduates have qualified to go to Princeton. I think I heard about Princeton, Yale. Those are what they call the Ivy League. The Ivy League is a very special group of universities in America where very few people go. Harvard, Princeton, and so on. And the founder of the university I attended, called Cornell, Ezra Cornell was not himself an academic. He was a carpenter who made money by selling telephone posts. When he had made enough money, he now wanted to start a university. So his vision was that I would find a university where anybody from anywhere would come and study anything. What a vision. People told him, my friend, you'll have problems. You have so many people. What do you do with them? Of course, he took it in a very remote part of USA called Ithaca. So he said, well, I'll put it somewhere in Ithaca. Today, Cornell is one of the best universities in the world. But that vision was fulfilled because he was a carpenter, but he needed someone called Ezra. Day was more academic. So the clarion call that the retired Archbishop made is very genuine. But he needs all of us to come in with ideas, come in with tools which will grow the university to its real dream. And therefore, I really appreciate that focus on medicine, which is so crucial today, which is today is one of the big four agendas, because lives is linked to, as we mentioned, the Millennium Development Goals, number 3, to ensure healthy lives and also promote well-being for all of us at all good times. And therefore, the stakeholders of the universities are quite important. So towards the end of 2019, we witnessed this so-called corona. That has made health science or health has come on top of the agenda. For a while, health was taken for granted. With this COVID-19, caused by a virus, I was glad to hear that you have taken microbiology as a very important area. That microorganism, called the virus, which changes so fast, has alerted the world that we need to do more for health science. So the founders already had this dream, which has now been confirmed to be extremely important, and therefore we have to look for partners and global issues to move forward. So, as I go through this, the diseases will be here with us. We can go back in history, the time when someone called Fleming discovered the first antibiotic in 1929, which really revolutionized medicine. Later on, another one called Waxman discovered now streptomycin, which is a broad range, a broad spectrum antibiotic. And that also changed the way we handle all these diseases. Vaccines and universities, that is where most of the research is done. When there's a challenge or a problem in those good countries, they come together with industry, with all those microbiologists, physiologists, sociologists, and they help in coming up with a solution. At the discovery of a new drug, as we had not too long ago, in our neighborhood, Dr. Walter Otieno has been involved in the development of a vaccine for malaria, which is a major problem in this area and many other parts of the developing world. So this university will be joining many others in tackling problems which the earlier people have mentioned, the Nobel laureates, many of them have been won or given because they have discovered or developed solutions to mankind. And I believe in our area, there are still many of these problems which we can be able to tackle. And being around Maseno here, Jaramogi Odinga, Masinde Muliro, this place is destined to be a center of handling or attending to many of these diseases or problems. That's why the problem of partnership will come in many ways, to say the least. So the university will not just be the students, but also the publications in journals, participation in conferences locally and abroad, development of patents, and even knowledge sharing with the public, the community. This being the 7th graduation or the 8th graduation, the public are continuing to benefit from the products of this university in terms of graduates. We wish them well as they enter the job market. I would urge the best students to pursue higher levels of training and eventually become staff members. You know, you will need staff all the time. And I would encourage that those first, one third of the class should be encouraged, given scholarship or support, go and do their masters and even PhDs. Then they'll come back, they'll be more committed to the university than those other ones who may come from other places. That is what the lecturers did to us. When I did my BSc Agriculture, I wanted to be in the field with the farmers. But I was told that no, you are not going back to Kenya. They gave me a scholarship to go to the USA to come back and teach. I told them I didn't like teaching. I wanted to be an agriculturalist. But you can see that with the synergy of lecturers applying pressure on you, you can change your course for the choice of career. So make sure that the deans, the vice chancellor, those bright students in the class, encourage them not just go and practice and make some money, come back and continue to do their masters. I was therefore happy to learn that from the chancellor, we are now encouraging the development of graduate courses, a strong postgraduate program which will develop not just your own staff, but also staff from other areas. So I urge you to identify them early enough and give them some support so that those who will be able to join can go that way. This is something we can do to discuss in terms of positioning and also in terms of just own staff development. So, this being a university focused on medicine, remind me also as chairman of council, read the history. More university was started, being the second university. They were very keen also to start medicine. But medicine is not easy. As we went around, we identified Professor Mengech, who was the first staff and first dean. He had a very hard start, he couldn't start. Luckily enough, he found the late Professor Tom Ogada, who called a workshop, organized people, and within a week, he came up with the curriculum. The same way he held Uzima University. So that approach of identifying what you want to do and how you can do it has worked for many universities. Call people, call your colleagues, call the experts, brainstorm, and words which different areas can be identified. For example, that more universities should train doctors, starting from anatomy. You have a cadaver for a whole year until you get to the third, fourth, fifth year. They say no, we being the university, which is in a new country, a new area, we shall start from the opposite side. Instead of anatomy, we'll ask the problem of if the patient keep coming to you for a disease every month or every week, why don't you begin by what is the problem? Why do you fall sick all the time? So that was an unorthodox approach to medical sciences, which I think has helped more universities become also a university of its own. The point I'm trying to drive at, that this Uzima University should forge new ways in its approach to medicine, which make make you also have a unique system or a unique approaches and just copying or doing what others are doing already. When you are new, you have a chance to try something different. Once you are in the mainstream, you will more or less be just following what other people are doing in their approach. So every university, as I said, every university has its own unique advantage, its own unique culture. Uzima is now developing its own culture. Even your graduation will have something which is different. And also, as you graduate people, the community around will be excited. They will be also know what's happening. Many years ago, we used to only go to Nairobi. There are no universities around here. So now that you are here, see what you can do for your own surrounding. In terms of academic staff and support staff, I would advise you to look around as widely as possible. Diversify. Get people from various backgrounds, various institutions. Don't just be tempted to have one group. So the diversity brings in strength, and that is what the good universities do. So the challenge is both the attraction and retention of high caliber academics, technical and administrative staff. That's why you need to identify the best student, take them for training, and the chances of their coming back are higher. They'll be due for a slightly longer period than those who come from elsewhere. Of course, you can also coach from other institutions to see where there also are other opportunities. Not too long ago, I had a guest in my house, a lady, a nurse, who has been in the UK for 21 years. She came back and told me, look, I'm not going back to UK. Life here is much better. Therefore, some of those people who are coming back from UK, look at them. So still very young, she's not very old. Maybe you can interest them, because home is still the best. One time I was passing through Kisumu Airport. I met Professor Betwell Ogot, who was a very well-known person. Because at that time I was in the diaspora. He asked me, Kaya, where are you now? Why aren't you coming home? Please come back home. There are many good things happening here, which you are missing. I listened to the professor, and within about 4 or 5 years, I was back home. So later on, I'll be making an appeal to our people in the diaspora and tell them that, look, there are good things also here, which they can help us. This being a new university, can be able to help us build it to the level in which we can be able to be proud. And yes, the founder made a clarion call. We have joined him, and we want to see that this mission is fulfilled. The university should look for donors and scholarships. I've mentioned that already. Most donors trust universities. They can give you funds. This is for this area, different for this kind of situation. So let's you prepare good proposals for funding, submit them to good donors like Bill and Melinda Gates and so on. So that there is money for research, there's also money which can be able to sustain the work. So collaboration is now the thing, the way partnership. You work as teams. You join other teams, private sector, industry, so that when you submit a proposal to the university, it's not just you as the individual. You have teams which it makes it much more stronger. That way you can also be able to publish the results, share, and continue to work on. So I cannot overemphasize the partnership mechanism of helping you to put the university on the map. When a paper is published and there are many authors from various institutions, that becomes the success. In fact, when you see that success of the malaria vaccine, Dr. Walter, from Maseno, it's a large team of people working together to get that results. So the African proverb says, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. This is important, a principle in training, research, in dissemination of their knowledge, and working together towards your key goals. As you also identify even your objectives. Someone mentioned that maybe by now you should know what is your niche. Of course, your niche is medical sciences, but you can still find even a more refined niche within that medical sciences, for which the world will know you, for which people will come here, and this is the place to go. The Vice Chancellor, we have been sharing collaboration with other potential institutions, and today I'm very excited about many things. One of those areas is collaboration with a country like Italy. You mentioned here the University of Rome, the Polyclinic of Agostino Gemelli, in Italian Universidad di Roma, Policlinico Agostino Gemelli Sacro Cuore. It's one of the biggest and top-notch universities in the world. When I lived in Rome for 8 years, I often wondered, how can this university be only doing medicine? And they are so huge and they are so big. As you know, there are very few universities of your kind that focuses only on medicine. My dream is that this university, Uzima, will forge collaboration with that university in Rome and many others of its kind for the betterment of its reputation and also as we move forward. Uzima can emulate those other universities which have been mentioned by the Chancellor and many others, and also to continue delivering some of the essential areas in the area of medicine. Today, there are major revolutions occurring in surgery, in nursing, sciences, in sophistication, telemedicine. We are performing an operation here, but 3 of the experts are somewhere, some in Japan, some in Australia, some in Mexico, and so on, and they communicate through telecommunication. So as you identify your niche, if you get a good area, I'm sure this place will be sought for by many people. Take, for example, the problem of eyes. You know, as many people get old, the eyes also get old. Most of us go to India for eye operations, go to India for many things. Why can't Uzima University soon become a place where all the people from the Great Lakes come for some of these treatments, which take them to India at a lower cost and also at an affordable level. So health management and economy is very important. So quality assurance, which has been referred to, I'm glad that you are making progress towards attaining a charter, because we have the Commission for University Education, which accredits all these universities today in Kenya, be they public or private. They give you a license to operate for 5 years, and of course you must meet certain standards having obtained that license. So my prayer today with you is that very soon we shall meet those this university will meet those standards of the Commission for University Education, so that you can get your license. So for the time being, pay attention to the reports, what they may call self-assessment reports, reports of external examiners whom you invite. Since it appears most of your students are qualified and they have high reputation, the reports will help you also to get even higher marks in terms of the quality assurance. So quality is a big thing, and of course as you address the Big Four agenda, which is a hallmark of our constitution, create the agenda will help us to also to follow up some of those areas. Since I'm in the area of food, I always stress the nexus between nutrition and health. Sometimes people fall sick because they are not well nourished or they are missing something. So the link between healthcare, education, food security, poverty, they are all combined together, so we can do to fight these vices which grow us most of the time. The area of research has been mentioned, and I cannot say any more to it, except that research is an important area which will put you on the world map as you become a university. You know, most people sometimes are very happy to say, oh, I'm teaching at Kemri or Kemu or X and Y. But university is not just for teaching. The difference between the university and high school is research. Therefore, as the Chancellor was pointing at the staff sitting on the right side, these are the people who lead research that distinguishes the university, which will come up with major findings which will address global issues. As I said earlier, the staff of this university can be able to participate in areas which have been mentioned, which affect people of this region. Therefore, we note that malaria, for example, is a major problem that we here. There are many others which have been mentioned can be tackled through research and through that kind of opportunities. So university as a medium for solving problems through research, through other areas, is something which we cannot ignore. I now want to move to the area of a topic of building trust. Since I'm talking to mainly healthcare people, while the students who are in training on the campus and elsewhere, you are protected. You have the Vice Chancellor, you have the Deans, and so on. But now that today you are graduating, you are being released to the world. You will be on your own. You will no longer enjoy that protection. Any mistakes you will make will be upon you. So as you move into this world, as we wish you well, know that now you are going to be independent in your career. This is a challenge which you must now see as you mature in your profession, e.g. as a senior consultant, as or a transforming heart operation. Yeah, make sure that you bear in mind that you are now on your own, and you can no longer depend on the university to protect you. You are the best. You will be selling the university if you make a good history. You adhere to good standards. Say yes, those Uzima University graduates are the ones we need. Therefore, mine is simply to just join you and wishing you well. But as I approach my conclusion, I want just to share with you some professional areas as you grow up, also some questions and answers which you may want to consider from time to time. These questions and answers may reflect some of your own strength and also your weaknesses. So what follows are some, just 8 points, questions and answers that I would want to share with you. Number one is, what are the fundamental goals of medicine in today's world? The answer may be the fundamental goals are the very, very same goals that have been important for centuries to promote health and well-being, to relieve suffering and pain, to rescue people from sickness and disability, and to save lives in this time of broad-based changes in medicine. It is therefore important that ever before to anchor our actions in fundamental goals that of the basic principles in medicine and healthcare. Number two, I can say, number two question is, what is the greatest privilege of being a doctor? That a fellow human being will grant you his or her trust. It is trust that help or enables her or him to hear, give you the chance to more or less to examine the person and to allow him to lay your hands on him or her, conduct your examination, and also establish what is the problem. So that trust is important as you practice your medicine. Sometimes you will be entrusted to be the first person a newborn baby sees as she opens her eyes. Sometimes you will be entrusted to be the last person a gravely ill man sees as he dies by virtue of your medical so on. So that is another area. Number three is that do I really know enough to have an MD degree? The answer is, well, you may not want to ask that out loudly as you graduate, but the same